Everybody, welcome back. This is Georgiana with Expressions Craft Studio, and today we are doing leaf 29 of Shivani Creations 30 leaf video, Quilling Leaves. So I've already gone ahead and prepared pretty much everything. This is the final leaf petal, and she turned it into a teardrop. Actually, let me get this out of the way. I had these in slot 16 if you're interested. And it was, I think it was a half a sheet of the light and then half a strip of the light and then a full strip of the dark, if I remember correctly. But you might want to watch her video just to be sure. So anyway, she turned it into a teardrop and then she pinched the top a little bit. And so I'm just kind of flattening that back out, since I probably should have used a smaller coil. So then we're taking a strip of this darker green to go around it, and going to kind of just start with some glue here. This is probably a lot longer than it needs to be. In fact, I'm sure it is. Whoa. My fan is on. I forgot to check it, and so it's blowing my paper. Let's do it like this. Try and hold it and then wrap it there. Well, it's not exact, but it's didn't get that very centered, did I? A little bit extra length on there, but that's okay because it is longer than it needs to be. Let's pull this back in so you can see a little better. Which way do I want to go? This way. Maybe zoom in a smidge. Okay, so we'll just leave that to dry, and we'll go ahead and make our other quill before we start gluing things on. But it went something like this. So that's what we'll do. Something like that. So here's my coil, and it's probably bigger than it needs to be, but that's okay. So what I did is I took 2 strips of light and 2 strips of dark, and these are the full 10.5 inch strips. And I went ahead and kind of got them together just to make it easier for me. And I want to remember to fold this where the dark green is on the outside. I guess I should have just left that clipped, because you can see they all just kind of want to go in their own direction, no matter how hard I try. Here we go. So I'm basically just trying to get this kind of folded in the middle. There we go. Okay, so we're going to grab our tweezers, and actually I'm going to use the quilling tool. I did not find my previous purchase quilling tools. I had to buy some more, but they're on Amazon. They're really cheap. This one's got a much larger, whoops, where am I at? Right there, much larger slot in it, so it does fit around the end of this once I get it going. I kind of go in and then twist it to the side. Alright, so we're just going to roll this up, and when I get to where I feel like I'm pretty close to the end right there, we'll take it off. Now, she uses tweezers. You can use whatever you want, and from there I like to kind of turn that little bend more into a curve. There we go. And then you can release it. It'll go where it goes, and I like to pinch it right about the end where this last piece comes together, or the shortest piece is, I should say. And then I just start cutting pieces off the bottom, trying to get them pretty close to the right spot. I don't cut through them all at once just because I found that's a little more difficult for me. Alright, so now what we can do if we want to make this a little smaller is we can glue it up higher. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'll probably end up cutting more of that off. But for right now, we just kind of want to glue it. And I'll just kind of fan those out a little bit. So I'm going to glue it down here toward where my fingers are pinching it together. No matter how well I try to fan these out, they just don't want to fan out. So I usually have to wait till it dries and then go back in and see what didn't get glued. So I kind of fast forwarded through the part where she made her I don't know, swirls, curls, whatever you want to call these, because I knew I wasn't going to use as many pieces as she had previously done, as many strips I should say. So oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to spread them out. Okay, well, let's see, can I just cut that off there? It's going to be hard through all those layers, but oh, actually it wasn't that bad. Alright, so you want to start from the inside and just pull it down to where you think it looks good. And you grab the second one and you just do the same. Let's see if I'm trying to find a good spot where there's nothing in the way, and then I'll try to hold my hand still. Okay, so pull that down, and then you're just going to keep slowly getting the next one. Can't really get them. There we go. And you can spread these out as much or as little as you like. Oops. Come on. There we go. Okay, I like that. So now I'm going to glue it again. Just trying to make sure all my edges are lined up nice and straight. And they're not. I keep moving them. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get them straight and then put the tweezers on them. There we go. Should have put them on from the other side. There we go. Let's try that again. That way I can hold it with my left hand while I glue with my right. Come on. Might need to clean my tip of my nozzle out there. Yeah, we're not getting... There we go. So I guess if I don't trim it before I glue it, it makes it a little bit easier to get the tip of my glue down in there. So that's good to know. Whoops, everything takes off. I'm just going to put my pen back in here real quick since my fan's on. Make sure this is dry. Whoop. And then I'm going to trim it down here on the end. Kind of bent it. Make sure everything's still together. Looks like it is. Alright, so then if we start gluing, wonder if I need to spin that out a little bit more. There we go. Okay, that's a rough idea. So I think to help stiffen up this center stem, I'm going to glue the swirl on first. Come on, there we go. Make sure it stays, my edges stay even. That's pretty good. Alright, I'll glue this one on next. Yeah, I probably should add a little more glue. This one's kind of heavy. Alright, so where do I want it? I'm going to kind of turn it a little bit. Keep it level. So today I'm filming is Saturday, I think. And today I just started watching, because I didn't know it was on. We do streaming services instead of cable. And I found well, I was going to call it the Garth Brooks Show. That's not what it's called. It's an Prime original where he's doing his bar. I don't know if you're into country music or if you know who Garth Brooks is. I think most of the planet knows who Garth Brooks is, but if you don't, he's an American country singer from Oklahoma, and he recently opened a bar / restaurant in Nashville with his wife Trisha Yearwood. Anyway, it's kind of I wouldn't say it's a documentary, but that's kind of how it's filmed. I mean, it's with them making the bar and putting everything together, and it's really interesting. I've always been a huge fan of his. Of course, I was born and raised just a couple hours north of where, well, it's not even a couple hours north, it's a couple hours north and to the east a little bit of where he's from. So I understand his sense of humor and his down-home sentimentality, if you will. So I've just always had a real appreciation for him. And so we're enjoying it. We still have a couple episodes to go. But it's really interesting. If you like country music, or you like Garth Brooks or Trisha Yearwood, or you want to see how people go about putting a bar together. I know there's bar rescue shows. I don't watch those. I'm only watching this because it's Garth Brooks. He actually reminds me a lot of one of my brothers. Unfortunately, my brother and I haven't talked in a long time. He's, well, he has some issues. But he does remind me. I see some similarities between them, so it makes me sad sometimes. But all in all, I'm really enjoying the series. So not to get, that's too much information. Y'all don't want to hear all that. Maybe I'll mute it and insert some music. But anyway, it's really good if you're interested in any of that stuff. I think you'll like it. He's just a very, I don't want to say down home, because that kind of tends to imply to some people simple or unintelligent, and he's not. But he's just a downright good person, I think. And I always feel good when I watch his shows or his lives. He was doing Facebook Lives for a while. I don't know that he's still doing them. I haven't watched him in a while. But I can just relate to a lot of what he says. So anyway, if you didn't know it was out there and you're interested, there you go. Now you know. And you can go and enjoy it. And if you're not interested, that's okay too. Because you're probably here to make this. And see, I glued it to my paper again. probably here to make this quilled leaf, which I messed up. Where's it glued at? Right there. Yep. More than one spot apparently. Oh, looky there. It fell apart. That's alright. We'll just get the glue bottle back out. Where's it touching? Right there. Let's get that to hold a little bit better. Anyway, this was leaf 29, and I really like this one. It's got all of the stuff that I like about quilling. The swirls and the just the soft and kind of, I don't know, the look about it. I just like the look of it. So there you go, leaf 29. Get this pen back in there if I can find the hole. There we go. And oh, I picked it up because I was going to trim this off. There we go. And there you have it. Again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. This is one of my favorites. Thank you all for joining me. This is Georgiana, Expressions Craft Studio, leaf 29, and tomorrow will be 30, our final day for this series of leaves by Shivani Creations. That doesn't mean we won't have other leaves in our future. We will. They'll just be different. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.